How do you find ammo? Well, I'm going to give you a few little tips to see if I can help you. So it's gotten hard to find ammo. The stores are running out. They've got like 2-box limits. Stuff is stupid pricey, especially on the internet. It's like way pricey. What can you do? Well, there's a lot of different things that can be done. What I'm going to show you here are just a few things that might be able to help you. It's something that I've been able to do to be able to find some. Now, as far as finding it in a brick and mortar store, your best bets are going to be to go to a lot of different stores, and don't go during like the peak times. If you go on a weekend, if you go on like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're going to be out. You got to do stuff in the middle of the week, like Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And also try to go to a number of different stores and just go across several at a time. Plan out a trip and just hit a bunch of them. Now, there's a lot of different reasons for hitting a bunch of them. Different stores will have different stuff in stock. Even if you're going to the same type of store, just multiple locations of the same type, you can get by the 2-box limit that most places have by being able to buy 2 boxes at each location. Now, for example, recently I found myself in the middle of the week on a job in Fort Worth, which I don't go into town, into Fort Worth a whole lot. And when I got done, I just kind of planned a trip across town and found a bunch of different places to stop at. I stopped at a couple of gun stores, at gun-specific stores. I stopped at a few places like Academy to see what I could find there, because there were actually 3 different academies that I could go by. And some local gun stores won't have a lot. Some will have a good bit of stuff. Sometimes they'll have strange, oddball things. Sometimes they have major stuff there. The one I was at, what I ended up picking up at one of them was some 8mm Mauser, which I haven't been able to find a whole lot of that reasonable. It gets pretty pricey online, and not a lot of places stock it, or at least are able to stock it right now. So finding that at around $1 a round, which is pretty much like pre-pandemic prices for 8mm Mauser. So got a couple boxes of that. At Academy, I was able to find a couple of different things. I found some 223 Remington that they had, and this came out to about 60 cents a round, which is more than it was before the pandemic, but it's a lot better than what you're going to find online for brass case. You can get some cheap steel case stuff for that, less than that, but to get actual Monarch, which is basically PPU, finding that at a reasonable price is pretty good. And then I was able to pick up some 12 gauge. Now, birdshot's not gotten real difficult to find, but you do have to look around some for it, and you can't buy a lot at a time. And one reason to go by a bunch of different locations of the same thing is that just because you're going by different academies doesn't mean that all the academies are going to have the same things in stock. The ones I went to had different stuff in stock. There was one location that I went by in Fort Worth, the one down on Bryant Irving, that pretty much only had birdshot and really didn't have like anything else in stock at all. When I went by the one in White Settlement, yes, White Settlement is the name of that town there. Okay, okay. I was able to find some 223 there. They had some 5.56 that was up there that was like green tip, but I didn't want green tip. I already had a bunch of that, and I can't shoot that everywhere. So it was nice to be able to just find some 223. And they also had some other stuff. There was a fair bit of 7.62 that was on the shelf. And that's good if you have something to shoot 7.62. I don't, so I wasn't interested in it. In the town that I live in, there's like this mom and pop hardware store, and I never thought about looking in there for stuff, but I was able to find some 12 gauge there. Once again, birdshot. It's I've not ever heard of Rio. This is apparently made in like Marshall, Texas. So it's not anything that I'd heard of, but I mean, it's 12 gauge for like shooting clays. So, you know, what do you really need from it? The one gun shop I was at, I didn't opt to get it because once again, I wasn't wanting green tip. But they had like big boxes. It was like 200 rounds for like, you know, 150 or something, which is a lot. Right now, that's actually kind of, you know, pretty affordable to find that at. Now, you can find places to find ammo online, a number of different places to look for that. And one good resource for that is AmmoSeek. Now, the trick with that is you have to look at it a lot. Sometimes some places will get stuff and will put it up at pretty affordable prices, and it will just sell out really quickly. So you just got to check it a lot to find it. I was able to find at Bass Pro Shop, of all places, some 357 Magnum online that you could get it at like 60 cents a round, and that's like just a smidge more than what you would generally find it at, you know, pre-pandemic. And they had like a 5-box limit on it, so guess how many boxes I bought. I managed to also get, you know, pretty reasonable shipping on it, which didn't bring the price up on it a whole lot. Trying to remember which website it was I got this from. I think Midway USA. They had some green tip IMI 556 show up, and I was able to get it pretty reasonably there. Once again, didn't want a whole lot of green tip because I can't shoot it everywhere, but I got it cheap enough. I decided to go ahead and get it and put it in there. But that's the main thing, is just check places a lot because the stock that they have will change. This is for brick and mortars and for online. Try to hit your brick and mortars in the middle of the week and stuff so that, you know, you're not going to them after everyone's already bought them out. And also try to go by a bunch of different stores if you can. If you live in town and you know that there are a bunch of locations of the same type of store, you can hit a bunch of those and either get different stuff at each one or just buy multiple boxes, buy 2 boxes at each location so that you can end up with a decent supply that way. And so that's a few ammo finding tips that I've got. Hopefully that'll be helpful for you. If you've got some other tips, leave those for us so that we can all see them. If you found this video useful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and a like. You can go down into the comment section and leave any thoughts you have down there. And if you're interested, you can also subscribe to my channel and click the little bell notification to make sure that you catch all the videos that I post so you don't miss anything. I'm Jeremy with Poindexter G, and we'll see you next time.